Hi guys, it's Mike here from KS Bushcraft Down Under. Today I'm going to tell you all about the Trangia 27 series, probably more than you want to know. So I bought this one in the late 1980s. So all the weights, I'll quote you, volumes, are from mine. Yeah, that's the way I roll. So this was really one of the first upmarket stoves I ever bought. I started off using the venerable hexamine stove like that, the Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme in the early 80s, and I really do like them, even today. Hexamine and it's a really honest fuel source, it's reliable, it works in any weather, and it's still part of my kit today, well in slightly flasher form. So the Trangia, the higher the number, the smaller the stove system. So its big brother is the 25 series. So Trangia market this one as a 1 or 2 person stove. So it's really a solo stove due to the volume of the pots. Yes, I've done camping trips with 2 people with this, and it's a little bit of a pain. If you combine this with a larger billy pot, it's doable, but for 2 people it's a fraction small. I would honestly pop for an extra half a kilo of weight. If you're going to be a regular 2 people, I would go to the 25 series. It's just a much better system to share with. So the first one of these I bought was actually the Teflon model, and then there was that big hoop-de-dar about aluminium and stuff giving you Alzheimer's. So Trangia obviously rushed out a stainless steel version. Now this is not Duracell. This is a straight stainless steel system. Now I only tried frying in the fry pan once. Then I went and replaced it with a non-stick version. So the beauty of them is, well, one, you can see it's durable. There's really no moving parts. Now you must keep the burner in a bag because brass and aluminium don't play well together. And as you see, these pots are completely stainless steel. The later ones, the Duracell, was a combination of stainless on the inside and aluminium on the outside for better heat transfer. So, fry pan, 149 grams. The inner pot, 114. Now I've measured the volumes of this and I'll cut that in. They quote them as 1 litre pots. Well, maybe the modern ones are 1 litre, but these ones certainly aren't. Okay, so this is the inner pot of the 2. Weighs in at 113 grams. I'll reset that. I'll fill this up. So brim full. Yeah, I've got 803. Now I can't get that off the scales without spilling it. So effectively it's not 800 ml. So certainly nowhere near a litre. Okay guys, now this is a stainless steel pot which has long since been discontinued. So it weighs in at 115 grams. So I'll reset this. Now what I'll do, I will fill it up and we'll get an accurate idea of the volume. Now the problem with the 25 series is its capacity. So there is brimful. Some people say they're a litre, but there's not. That's 800 ml. I'll just fill it till it overflows. But I mean, you're talking practicable uses. So 840 mils. Usable, 750 ml and 800 ml. So not a litre pot. So if there's 2 of you, you're going to size your meals downwards to fit this pot. So in reality, once you get out of boiling water for freeze-dried meals, if you want to actually cook, and the beauty of this stove is you can cook. It's not like a lightweight titanium pot. Is you're going to have to either make 2 batches or small meals. So the mighty Trangia burner. I love these, I really do. So it's a pressurized system. Now the burner itself weighs in at 108 grams as a unit. They claim you can store meths in it. I've never done that, as it relies on the O-ring. Now you do not use this cap to snuff this burner out. You use the simmer ring. And generally I find fully open is enough simmer for cooking with, but that's up to you. Now there is a plethora of accessories for these stoves, but in its basic configuration, it's got an upper windshield, so they call it a storm cooker for good reason, because it will cook in any weather. The base is ventilated and has holes around about 1/3. This larger cutout here is to allow you to use the gas adapter, which I'll show you in a minute. Now the newer ones don't have bails like this for the strap. They just have a pressed out notch. And I think that hole there is for the multi-fuel burner, which I've never seen one. So that goes in there. Now the later ones have a safety notch for the upper shield. Well, this doesn't have that. You just go straight on. Pot goes in. Yeah. Light the burner and she's away. Well, I'll demonstrate the burner and that. And okay guys, when I was editing I realised I didn't show the fry pan. So where the regular pots sit in over, it's only a matter of flipping these over. Now if you have been using it with the saucepan, these will be hot. And the fry pan simply sits on top. So it's a good solid surface for frying on. It won't slide off like it normally happens with gas burners. Now the meths in Australia is pretty dirty stuff. They put an additive in it to stop people drinking it. But if you, once you've cleaned these, coat them with some dishwashing liquid and water and let it dry, the next time you come to clean it up, it'll be a lot easier. Even if you dent this thing, you're going to be able to make it work. And that is the true beauty of it, is it's incredibly durable. There's nothing to go wrong with it here. Now, the downside. A lot of guys get very passionate about meth stoves, especially if you're making ultralight titanium ones. I've got some high-end ones, but the sheer fact of it is, I do a regular 5-day Cape to Cape hike, and for 2 adults, and we're making real meals, not just freeze dries. We need that in fuel. For butane, I've done the same hike with meths, and I need 1.5 litres. So this old Sig bottle here, I've kept it, even though it's a bit dented. It reminded me of a fall I took out in the Stirling Ranges for not watching my hand positions. So that's why I've kept it. So 1.5 litres of meths. So even if your stove weighs nothing, meths isn't always the best lightweight choice. For those guys that follow my videos, when I'm solo and when I'm shorter ones, I just use my canteen cup stove with a Trangia burner or hex tablets, and I'm just happy with that. But for 2 people, then you want to cook. So Trangia do make an Lpg kit, which is this fella here. Now these really make these stoves kick. They really do. And they have fantastic flame control. So basically that slips through there. That turns on its side. Well, it won't go through that one. It will go through that way. That clips in there. Now it's got this heat tube. Now I believe that will allow the cylinder to work upside down. I don't know why that would be an advantage, but That's so cool in the design. I've never felt confident turning a gas cylinder upside down like that, because if there's any crud in the manufacturer of the cylinder, it's going straight into the valve, which is what you don't want. So that's it there. So that might be the choice if speed and time are important to you. There's that. Now they also make a gel burner, which I've been experimenting with. What I've always liked about meths is you can see how much you've got left, but this would allow you to carry a few hexamine tablets or some gel fuel as a backup. So especially if you're using canisters, you always say, oh, have I got enough, have I got enough? Well, I normally have 3 Esbit tablets with me at all times as an emergency. That would allow me to use it in the stove. And I'll give it a test on hexamine to see how it performs. And the multi-disc. This is a pretty cool piece of kit. What it will allow you to do, it'll allow you to position it on the bottom barrel. And also it'll allow you to strain the pots and stuff. And it's handy as a cutting board. You can see I've been hacking away on it. Personally, I don't need to worry about snow and stuff. And it'll also protect the inside of the fry pan. So it comes with this plastic line, and I suggest you keep it. And if you're going to be frying stuff, I'd definitely get this as an upgrade. So basically, as I carry it, yeah, it's around 900 grams. So not in the super lightweight, but I've got 2 bowls, a fry pan, you can eat out of the bowls, which is handy. And it'll work in any weather. So it's got a lot going for it. Its downside is the amount of fuel it'll burn, and that's its only shortcoming in my opinion, and the speed. So if you want to have a quick boil up in the middle of the day, maybe it's not for you. If time and that isn't an issue and you want to do a bit of real cooking on the trail, it's probably a good system. So I'll run some boil tests and showing you the various, well, with the meths burner, with the gas burner, and I'll try a shot on the hexamine, see how we get a boil on 500 ml of water. And that's what's coming up, guys. Okay guys, I've taken water from the fridge, which is at 6.6 degrees Celsius. So there is 500 ml, as you can see in this pot here. It's pretty much all you're going to practically be able to use. And this is the outer of the 2 pots. So I've weighed it all in. I'll put it on the gas burner test. We'll see how long it takes to get that to a rolling boil. Okay, so I've lit the burner. I'll get the pot on. You won't use a lid. I'll start the timer and we'll crank it up. So I'll get back to you when we have a boil. Okay guys, so we're getting close to a rolling boil at 2.5 minutes. And I'll definitely call that a rolling boil there. I'll turn it off before it boils over. So 2 minutes 55 seconds. That's cranking, isn't it? It really is. Okay guys, so same water temperature as before out of the fridge. I'll light the burner. Put the lid on. So I haven't used the lid for either of these 2 tests to be consistent. And we'll try the lid. Get that on. Start the timer, and we'll see you back when we get a boil. Okay guys, we're at a boil. We're at 9.5 minutes, about 3 times longer than the LPG. Now, in this format, it actually prefers to have a little bit of breeze to help lift the heat. But there she is there, cranking away. So that's a good time for shelter. It would be quicker if there was a little bit of air movement. Okay guys, I've lit the hexamine tablet, and I'm also going to run the canteen cup as a comparison for time. I'll get these on. Water's the same as yesterday at 6.5 degrees Celsius, so cold water. Get the timer going, and I'll get back to you when and if we get a boil up. So guys, we're at the 7-minute mark. If anything, I would say the canteen cup's a fraction ahead, but there's definitely a low boil. Well guys, 8 minutes, and we've got a rolling boil in the Trangia, and the canteen cup stove is starting to peter out. So call that 8:40. So that's as quicker than meths was yesterday. So I'll just see how much tablet's left in there. Be interesting to see. Well, there's still a fair bit of tablet there. So I'm actually quite impressed by that.